King Kong vs. Godzilla. This movie was simple genius, bringing two of the most famous monsters of all time in the battle of the century. It was the American monster against the Japanese monster, the East versus the West, the eighth wonder of the world against the king of the monsters. Not only is this Kong's first movie since 1933 and Godzilla's first movie since 1955 respectively, but this is also the first time both monsters appear in color. So there are these two guys that travel to Skull Island to retrieve King Kong in order to boost profits for whatever they're doing. Meanwhile, Godzilla is released from his icy prison and goes on a rampage. Kong was scaled up massively so he could even stand a chance against Godzilla, as well as going from stop motion to a guy in a rubber suit to make it easier. Also, this version of Kong is the ugliest looking creature I've ever seen. So when the two monsters finally meet, they naturally duke it out. And even with his size upgrade, Kong doesn't really stand much of a chance, for Godzilla has something that Kong doesn't. A breath attack. And for most of the fight, Godzilla completely destroys Kong. That is until Kong is struck by lightning, of course. Apparently electricity makes him stronger, and now he becomes a worthy opponent for Godzilla. And the fight ends with both monsters falling into the water. Now, for the longest time, there was this rumor that there were two endings to this movie. In the Japanese version, Godzilla wins the fight, and in the American version, Kong wins. This definitely turned out to be a load of garbage. For Kong and Godzilla's very first fight, it's very cheesy, but it's a lot of fun. It takes a little while to get the action going, but once it does, you will have a lot of fun with this one. And while we did eventually get an upgrade 59 years later, the original is still fun. Overall, I give it an 8 out of 10.